What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me. As we go through self-isolation, we're getting a lot of advice on how to stay safe and healthy. We've all heard the best moves and habits we should employ to avoid contracting the coronavirus and avoid transmitting it to others. I'm not going to reiterate any of that, but I do have a link in the description to an excellent page that the New York Times put together that answers a lot of common yet important questions and dispels a lot of myths. So I would definitely recommend that you check that out. It gave me some peace of mind, and I hope that it does for you as well. Instead, I wanted to give you some tips on how to improve your life in self-isolation because I haven't been hearing nearly as much advice about that. I realize that everyone's situations are different, and I definitely want to send positive vibes and prayers to anyone fighting to recover and to all the people helping them to do that. Here are some things that I've been doing to make this as positive, productive, and most importantly, sane of a period of my life. And I hope you find it helpful. This video will focus on 3 important things which will help you to remain positive and productive during your time in self-isolation. They're working for me, so I thought I'd share them with you. Number 1, maintain a routine. Without structure, it's easy to fall into bad habits, which can then increase your chances for depression. So I think it's really important to keep some form of schedule or routine for your life, because when you're stuck at home, it's easy to have no structure at all. Whether you're working at home or currently in between jobs, it helps to start the day in as similar a manner as you normally would before the lockdown. You don't have to be insanely strict. You don't have to force yourself to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning if you don't have to work then. Which is nice. But do try to get up at a reasonable time so that you don't waste a day and you can get more accomplished. You can be as strict or as loose with this as you want, but by setting some concrete time to wake up, you are providing structure to your life and you will benefit from this. Take a shower. Have breakfast as if you were going to work, with the advantage being that you don't have to worry about being late. Shift your perspective to realize that you now have the opportunity to start each day with a best case scenario amount of time. And if you're smart, you'll build good habits which you can continue to maintain even after the lockdown is over. Number 2, set achievable goals. Any life coach will tell you the importance of writing things down, and they're right. Making a to-do list will greatly improve your efficiency and productivity whether you're in self-isolation or not, because writing things down creates a physical manifestation of your ambitions and intentions. It sounds stupid, but simply by making a list of things to do, you create a more serious contract with yourself because you're now looking at your goals instead of just dreaming them. They're on a list in front of you. Now see how many you can take down. The trick here, though, is to set achievable goals. This is another method you can use to force yourself to get things accomplished. If you write silly things like get out of bed and tie your shoes as tasks on your to-do list, you're being too easy on yourself and you're coddling your own ego. Those are things you would have done anyway, and you're putting them on your list just to feel good about yourself and say that you did something, thereby potentially allowing yourself an out to avoid doing the things you really should be doing. So set moderate-sized, achievable goals. If you write, find the cure for cancer or achieve world peace, you're giving yourself an excuse on the other end of the spectrum by giving yourself a task you couldn't possibly complete in a given day. If you have ambitious, large tasks, break them down into bite-sized pieces, ones that you can tackle and complete over the course of the day. A perfect illustration of this concept is an experiment that was done with kids in an elementary school. The children were each given one piece of paper rolled up into a ball and told that they each have one shot at the garbage can, but they can choose where they want to take that shot from. But they should honestly try to make it. The kids that weren't as good achievers within the class either walked right up to the garbage and placed it in, or took a 60-foot shot from across the room. But the ones that were more successful students took a decent mid-range shot from 4 to 6 feet away, something makeable, but more of an accomplishment if they made it. They appreciated the challenge and knew that if they focused, they could make the tougher shot, but it was a more impressive thing than just dropping it at point-blank range if they hit the shot. This is the mindset of a winner. The goal is to be someone who enjoys the challenge and works towards winning it, rather than avoiding it by framing it in an unwinnable way. How can you take your to-do lists to the next level? Take the extra second to record them in an accomplishment journal at the end of the day. Writing things down on a sheet of paper like this is fine, but since it's more portable, but then at the end of the day, take the extra step and either transcribe them into a notebook or just tape them into the notebook scrapbook style to save time. Recording what you accomplished each day further strengthens the accountability that writing them down had in the first place. This way, you're not only writing your goals down, but you're recording the completion of them, and you can look back on that with well-earned pride. Another advantage is that you get a sense of how long it takes for things to be done. I've personally found it amazing how much more time things have taken to get done than I thought they would, which leads into my last point. Have a positive mindset and value this time. Obviously, this is a scary time. Some people are hurt more than others by everything that is happening, and I by no means wish to underestimate that. This is not my Marie Antoinette let them eat cake moment. That being said, there are always positive aspects of every situation, and you'll be happier if you focus on them. Personally, I've been able to focus on a lot of possible aspects of this obviously dire situation. For the last 6 years, I've worked 2 jobs in 2 different restaurants, often racking up between 55 and 70 hours a week. It was always a means to an end. Not only did I have debts to pay, but I also have dreams that I'm trying to achieve. I'm working on this YouTube channel. I want to record another album of music, and I have ideas for video games, apps, and comic books. I'm a creative guy, but I live in New York City, so I've always had a financial imperative in order to stay here. You have to make money, plain and simple. Working all of those hours for that long a period of time has been hard on my body and stressful for my sanity, and there were times where I was feeling burnt out. Having a break from that for a couple months isn't the worst thing that's happened to me, although I obviously hope to return to both jobs as soon as possible. I can't wait to see my friends, my coworkers, and regulars again, and I wish them all well. The point is that I recognize that if there ever was a time that I would accomplish any of my goals outside of my restaurant career, now is the time to do it. Even if you don't have the ambitions to be a global entertainment icon that I do, this time does provide you the opportunity to do the things that you've always wanted to do. And to take that concept a step further, you should also acknowledge that if you don't do it now, you probably will never have a time like this again to do some of those things. It doesn't have to be writing the next great novel. You can clean out the garage or read from that stack of books that you have on the table that you've always meant to get around to. You can reorganize your closet or watch a list of great movies. Basically anything that you've ever put off, now is the time to do it. And you hopefully will never get this kind of opportunity again, so you should see how both precious and important this time is. If both of my restaurants called me back in tomorrow and said they were ready for me to go back to my full schedule of shifts again, which I can't wait to have happen, I wouldn't want to be mad at myself for not having done as much as I could towards everything else that I want to do. Things are thankfully improving, so the time that we're all on lockdown isn't indefinite. So realize that it might not last as long as you might have initially thought. The best cure for cabin fever is to appreciate the time you have and use it as well as possible. Use it to continue to reconnect with your friends. Even if you haven't contacted some of them at this point, and it's been a month of quarantine, hit them up now. They'll still be really happy to hear from you. Everybody has the time. Value the time you have with your family, whether you live with them or via the phone or group video chat. Live your life right now the way you would if you were comfortably retired, because you can't use the excuse of a job stressing you out anymore as a reason for not accomplishing your goals or not being the person you'd rather be. Again, I'll reiterate, I'm not trying to be all pie in the sky here, and I undermine the dangers or the damage or the serious stress of what's happening. But I'm pretty sure the world isn't going to end. It's just going to be different. And we have the opportunity when this is all over to actually make it better. And we can make it that way by using the time we have now both wisely and productively. Thank you very much for your time. I'll continue to add to my channel daily from now on until the lockdown is over. So please keep checking back. I'll be posting a wide range of content, so check it out and let me know what you think and what you'd like to see. Stay safe and healthy. Take care, everybody.